Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative Podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions, the worlds of TV, film, music, news, pop culture, lifestyle, everything really, depending on the guest we talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. My guest is a musician. A new music video dropped for his song, Why Are You Back? We're with Sylo Nozra. Sylo, welcome to Popternative, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's always an exciting time when a music video kind of launches for a song that's kind of fresh and new, like Why Are You Back? Because you'll have kind of like, it's like a two-headed monster a little bit. You know, you have like the song people listen to, but they also have a music video. It must be an exciting time when you release a music video for a song like Why Are You Back?
Oh yeah, we definitely try to match the energy of the song with the video, and it definitely helped that I shot it in a place where I've never been before. So
Absolutely. How
yeah,
long did that take to shoot that video? Because I feel like it's kind of like, it depends. Sometimes music, I've heard music videos that take like a long time, and then some were very quick, like a day or two. Was that a long process?
we had a lot planned for the agenda that we try to get packed in a day, but ended up being 2 days.
Mhm.
So it did take 2 days. Yeah.
Absolutely. I kind of want to know when it kind of all started for Sylo Nozra. Like, when did you decide that music was something you wanted to do? Was it at a young age?
Oh yeah, that was definitely from as far as back I could remember. I think I decided to just do it seriously during high school because I went to an art school, and I wasn't actually an art major, but I was just surrounded by all the art students, and it was just a really encouraging environment for me to try my hand at you know doing
No,
something that I love to do.
absolutely. And for the people that listen to you, because people can listen to your music everywhere, but Spotify, you're on a lot, you're rocking a lot of the Spotify playlist. Spotify is a big help for artists like Sylo Nozra. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people I know discovered you on Spotify. I mean, when you listen to your music though, there's a lot kind of going on. There's not really one genre going on. You know what I mean? Was that kind of the plan when you kind of release songs that you didn't want to kind of like? Why should you kind of pigeonhole yourself to one sound, right, Sylo?
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse, honestly, because in a sense, I am and consider myself to be a up and coming artist. And, I've been in the industry for almost half a decade now. And I just know that an important factor for success for an artist like me at this stage is consistency and cohesiveness. And, you know, so I have tried to stay within certain borders,
Yep.
namely being an alternative R&B artist, which is now heading more into the pop territory. But I love writing. It's just because it's a reflection of my history. I love writing and recording anything from indie to like rock to R&B, pop. Just eventually, I want to try my hand at everything and show that to the world. But right now, I kind of want to try to stay with what I'm good at.
Absolutely, but it's a good thing too, right? Because we could fit your songs in many different playlists that way too, right?
Yeah,
You know, you
exactly.
can get squeezed into like the indie rock, the pop, the R&B. The possibilities are endless for Silent Nozra playlist
Oh yeah,
wise.
hell yeah. In a sense, also, which I try not to get too much in my head about, is like when I'm making songs and there's a lot of pressure after a great single. I try not to think about it, but the thought does creep in sometimes of like, oh, is this gonna fit on whatever playlist? Is this gonna fit here? Like, or is this too, you know?
Absolutely. You know what I find really interesting, Silo? There's a term like easy listening that I feel like has evolved over the past like decade specifically. When you thought of easy listening back in the day, in like the 80s and the 90s, you know what I mean? You thought of like elevator music, just kind of background music. There's a
Yeah.
lot of kind of playlists that are categorizing, artists as easy listening in terms of like not what it was meant to be, more like you put on, Spotify, you're studying and you just put this playlist on, you're just kind of easy. Well, have you ever thought about that like the term easy listening, or if someone is like, oh, like I like Sylo Nozra, right? It's easy to listen to. It's good stuff. You
Mhm.
ever thought about that at all?
I have, because I've definitely been told that before. Yes, I'm a '90s kid and I grew up, listening to what's that radio station, Easy Rock or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I hear like easy listening, I think of like music like that.
Yeah.
Um, But when people tell me that these days, it's usually, you know, associated with just, I guess, my voice. I guess my voice is easy to listen to. I have um, a smooth voice or whatever, and
Absolutely.
it's easy to listen to. So in that sense, yeah, I do make music that is easy to listen to, but definitely still challenges in a way. At least I try to.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're gonna do a segment right now, Silo, called Name Three. It's a segment I do when I interview musicians on Popternative. It's an opportunity for my listeners and my viewers to kind of get to know the music and have kind of some opportunities to go check your songs out wherever they listen to it. So I'm gonna ask you to name three songs for me, but they're three specific songs. I'm gonna ask you to name me a upbeat Sylo Nozra song. Then I need a heartfelt Sylo Nozra song, a song that's
Mm,
really important to you. And then
yeah.
thirdly, I guess it would be, Why Are You Back? But I need kind of like a newer trendy song, right? Like a song that, you're testing the waters of new sounds, or a song you just released. Usually for that third one, people just put in their new single or something. So I need three.
Right.
So I need upbeat, heartfelt, and trendy. This is Name Three with Sylo Nozra. Go.
All right. Upbeat. Upbeat is probably the most upbeat song I've made. It's probably Citrus. It's like the most sunniest in my eyes. I see like it's like yellow to me,
Wow,
bright
that's a really
yellow.
good way of putting it. Color. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Um, I'm not like I don't have synesthesia or anything, but I always associate with like sounds and colors. But
Colors,
anyway,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So upbeat is Citrus. Second one was, which one was that again?
Heartfelt? Is there a song? I'm sure a lot of them are important to you, but is there one that kind of stands
Yeah.
out?
I think it would have to be. It would come down to two. I
Yeah,
think
go for it.
between Felt You, which features my friend Yumi. Um, we made that together, I think, almost 3 years ago when we first met.
Mhm.
And yeah, the lyrics and everything, just the time that I think of back then is just it was a very reflective time for me. I don't want to say depressing, but kind of melancholy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other one would be Jinsu, Ginsu. And that's personally like my favorite song that I've made.
Oh wow.
Um, just because, yeah, again, while I was making it, how I was feeling emotionally.
Yep.
Yeah. And the third one, what was the third one again? Sorry.
Newer one, a trendy one.
Newer, trendy one. I don't know. That's so hard to place for me because everything that I've put out doesn't really feel new to me anymore.
Yeah, it's
Like,
true. That is a good point.
yeah.
We'll just say "Why Are You Back?" because there's a really cool music
Oh,
video
you're
for it.
back. Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
cool music video. It's awesome.
for me. Exactly. The music video came out today, and I'm ready to just share it
That's
with
a cool feeling, eh? Like I get like that too sometimes when I put a new episode out. It's like you work on something for a while and it's finally out, and you just sit back and people check it out. Like it's a great feeling when it's finally
It is.
out.
It is. It's really fun because, yeah, it's mine until it's out there, and then it's now no longer. you know, Everyone interprets it. And,
So when I started the show, I said it in my intro, where I dive into the worlds of pop culture, music, TV, film, sports. What I've kind of noticed, Silo, and what I want to do is a lot of those kind of facets kind of overlap and tag team sometimes. You know what I mean? There's athletes that love music. There's musicians that love sports. There's, a lot of amazing music in our favorite TV shows and films. I think I know where you're going. I think you might know where I'm going with this. You know what I mean? You have had the opportunity to have your songs featured in some of the coolest and biggest shows on Netflix, specifically Kim's Convenience and season 3 of On My Block. FOMO was used in a really important part of
oh
season
yeah.
3 with Jazz and Ruby. Like, that's insane. What do you kind of think about? It's a two-part question. I mean, just kind of like start off like what was that what was that like, the response, and like dealing with a response from On My Block season 3 FOMO being used, and what do you think about that correlation between film music, sports music, TV music, sports? It's interesting to see that overlap.
Right. First of all, I feel blessed and super appreciative that my music can get out there and go into different avenues like that because, that's all connected to my life. I watch Netflix every day. I watch sports, watching the last Mike Tyson, and what was that guy's name? That guy's name, Ron Jr., whatever.
Yeah. Roy
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. Roy Jones Jr. Yeah.
Mhm.
Watching that and seeing St. John perform and Snoop Dogg perform, it's like I can't help but just picture myself to be up there one day and doing that sort of stuff. But like, it's super cool to feel so disconnected from culture in a way, because I am trying to like pave my own way and create something unique and create something that hasn't really been, experienced before. That's just for myself, but like when I see culture, I kind of want to, yeah, do something new. And when that is thrown into pop culture, when that's thrown into what people are watching and what's trendy and, what people are really talking about all the time, it's like super cool to be a part of that, because I'm, I guess, part of history in the making in that sense.
No, absolutely. But like, I mean, that's a big show, and that your song FOMO was used in a really big kind of part where Jazz and Ruby are finally getting together. I mean, and like it's cool. Like you go see FOMO's like lyric video on YouTube, all the comments being like, "Oh, my block has brought me here." Like that's really cool and special to see too.
Yeah, that was really awesome to see from the fans and new fans, and especially younger audience. Just encourages me a lot more to just keep going.
I mean,
And
some people look at the numbers, some people don't. Did you see a little bit of a spike after On My Block and shows like Kim's Convenience? Like, did you kind of
oh yeah,
notice it a little bit?
for sure, definitely. Monthly listeners on Spotify, everything, all the numbers that my
I mean, if
manager.
we look at the monthly listeners right now, I think I was looking at it before. I mean, the thing about the monthly listeners on Spotify is they kind of fluctuate a little bit, I find. Like sometimes they're up. I mean, you look at it right now, there's like over 250,000 people on a monthly basis listening to Sylo Nozra. Like
Yeah,
that's a
it's pretty
lot
crazy.
of people. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Have you
it's.
ever thought about that? Like that's a lot of people on a monthly basis putting on one of your tunes.
I know. I can't even wrap my head around a number that big. But you know, I actually had like a goal to try to get to like 500,000. I just give myself very lofty goals,
Mhm.
but it helps me get there at least somewhat of the way if it doesn't happen. But 250, I'm still super grateful about
And
that.
you're always kind of having those creative juices kind of flowing. You're always kind of putting out new songs and everything. Let me like give you a timeline between like March until now, because I feel like a lot of music was kind of made during the pandemic because a lot of people had a lot of time. What were some learning experiences or self-reflection moments for Sylo Nozra as an artist in the last like 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, just being stuck with myself for so long, and just getting to a really reflective point where I just had to ask myself, what am I really trying to say, especially now that my debut album is in the making, and I'm trying to be as honest as possible with myself, and like, what do I really need to say to myself, and as almost a mantra to solidify myself as a evolving human being, and how do I share that expression with the world. So
Absolutely. No,
um,
it's just because it's like like everyone was doing like live streams and all that, but like there was a lot. I can't even imagine how much writing
oh yeah,
was happening during quarantine. Like the amount of writing, not only music, but like screenplays and pilots. Like the amount of writing that was done was probably insane.
oh yeah, it's
Someone
almost
probably wrote 4 books and we didn't even know about it.
like a baby boom for art.
Pretty much, if you think
Yeah,
about it.
literally.
Which is interesting. Did you kind of find so I'm guessing you found yourself pretty productive? Like, I mean, you have to, right? Like you're with yourself for so long, like you said.
For sure, there's literally nothing else to do. If I'm just sitting here with thoughts that aren't really being written down for me, it's the therapy. So I'm sure as for a lot of artists as well. So if I don't get that out, then I could feel really cooped up.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, Silo, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, you as well.
I mean, so plug away. The new music video's out. An album's coming when it comes. You know what I mean? Like it's an exciting time. Plug away. Where can people check out the music, and where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Yeah, so you could find me at Sylo Nozra on Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. I'm mostly trying to get more into Twitter in terms of activity, but mostly on Instagram for now.
Mhm.
So if you want to say hi or reach out to me and let me know, how you enjoy the new music, how you enjoy the new music video,
New
everything.
music video's out today, which is exciting.
It's out today. Exactly. It was shot in San Francisco. So yeah, it's really cool to be part of this wave and to see where it goes and just keep going with it.
Amazing. Well, congrats so far of all the success you've had. I hope you get to your goal of streams because that's an exciting time. We're gonna get there. We're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
there. And thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You can also listen to episodes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you kind of listen. You can also listen to the audio onlys. You could check out Sylo Nozra's new music video for Why Are You Back, which is available right now. And until next time, this is Sylo Nozra and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.